How's it going, guys? And welcome back to a new episode here with some pot limit Omaha content. We're jumping straight into the action, playing 2 tables of Rush and Cash on GG Poker. Continuing where I left off my last session, we got some nice stacks here. Over 200 big blinds on table number 1 and over 300 big blinds on table number 2. Let's find out if we can build these stacks up even further. Guys, if you like this content, please give the video a thumbs up. That would help me out a ton. Also, subscribe to my channel and check out plomastermind.com if you want to learn more about pot limit Omaha, not only from myself, but also from other PLO professionals. Guys, let's get into it immediately. On table number 1, we have a splash pot. And I will actually, this is actually cash drop. That's what they call it here. I keep saying splash pot. Table number 2. I will bet, actually. Go for a small sizing. It's a very dry board. And we do take it down. That is a good start. That's a good start after the session, guys. Let me know if you are also playing in this pool. If you're playing in these games, these stakes. What have you been up to recently? And then it is time to get into it. Really try to build some stacks today. That would be fun. This is a good start. In my last episode, we did have some big pots. If you guys haven't seen that one yet, make sure to do so by going to my channel. Click on the latest video. Table number 1. It's a reasonable spot with the ace of diamonds in my hand to call because we're pretty deep against under the gun. And against the pot size lead, I will have a very easy fold. The money will go in, but we will keep going. King 10, 7, 4. Very tight players on this table. The big blind 18 VPIP only. The small blind also pretty tight. No 3-bets so far. What about this guy? 8% 3-bets are readable. I'm gonna fold. I was thinking about stealing but this one is like maybe a bit too loose. Although we still have 2 Broadway cards, right? We still have 2 Broadways. Making the fold over there. King, Jack, 4, 3 in the small blind against the steal. This is just a fold. It's too weak of a hand. Got a couple of tight players. Let me tag this one. And then what about this guy? Also yellow tag. Table number 2. We're very deep. So let's just call, play a pot in position. Also call on table number 1. Maybe a bit loose, but I think we can get away with it. Go ahead and check this one. I will check on table number 1 as well, and I will bluff on the diamonds now. I think my opponent's range is too capped at this point. King, Queen. Just gonna go and make the call. And we win against a complete airball. And on table number 1, we do take it down. A double check. Definitely a sign of weakness by many players. 6-5 deuce. A bit too weak. We're gonna let it go. And on table number 1, I will go ahead and open raise. Pretty nice looking hand. A lot of things going on. Ace, 10, 7. Look at how deep we are here. We still have to go for it. I'm gonna raise it up on table number 1. 5, 4, 4. Interesting. We could check call. We can bet. I think I like a bet. We unblock kings and queens. This is not a great card. Some straights coming in. My opponent will not have that many straights. Ah, that's not a great river. That's not a great river. Gotta check. Let's hope he finds the check. We do have the ace of spades. Yeah. Ah, damn it. Unfortunate river. Unfortunate river. But it is what it is. Let's see, what did he have actually? So he had jack, jack, 9, 6 double. This is not really a hand you want to 3-bet with on the button. Table number 2. I'm gonna go and fold. And on table number 1, I mean, not much we can do. We're just gonna let it go. Queen 10 4 deuce double. Weak hand, but look at these guys on my left. I mean, very tight. Very tight. We steal and we take it down. I think that's a big part of playing these games, being flexible pre-flop. This is not that great. Gonna raise. This is close and not that great, I would say. But if you flop middle set, then it helps at SPR2. Gonna bet small. Try to induce. Ace is 9 deuce on king. It's not necessarily the worst turn, I would say, just because I believe he's going to check raise a ton of like flush draws on the flop. And we will have to just fold on table number 1. If he would have checked, I would turn my hand into a bluff. But against aggression, I think my hand is too weak, not enough blocker value and or equity. So a fold, I think, is appropriate. Queen Jack 7-5. This is one of those hand classes that you don't want to 3-bet with. It's not connected enough. Let's open up PLO Trainer for a minute and try to learn more about the 3-bet range with unpaired double suited hands that don't have an ace. I folded Queen Jack 7-5 double suited, but I like to learn more about the entire hand class there. The way I do that is to open up the categories on the top right, focus on the hand class that I'm interested in. So that starts with unpaired double suited, 23% of the time a 3-bet. If I open this up, there's a separation between ace-high hands, connected hands, and disconnected hands. Now my hand, Queen Jack 7-5 double suited, is part of the disconnected category. If I open this up, we can see King, Queen, and Jack high unpaired double suited rundowns with 2-card Broadways. 98% of the time we are supposed to fold. If I open up this hand class, the only hands that could potentially be 3-bets are Queen Jack 6-5 or King Queen 6-5 double suited, but I think we can simplify this to just fold all of these variations. If I type in Queen Jack 7-5 double suited, we see that this hand is a pretty clear fold, and also the difference in value between the next best action is over 0.3 big blinds. In other words, 30 big blinds per 100, better than any of the other actions. So very important to not 3-bet or call a hand like this. Now what we can do is I can open up the connected hand class. Let's actually unfilter this one. If I filter for this hand class, these are all the strongest connected ones that we are supposed to 3-bet with. Queen 10-9-8 double suited, Jack 10-9-7 double suited, or 9-8-6-5 double suited. If I select another hand class, for example, the near Broadway hands, 51% of the time 3-betting. Let's open this one up. King Jack 10-8 double, Queen 10-8-6 double. So all hands that are better connected and therefore better to put into your 3-betting range. So you have to be quite selective with these unpaired double suited hands, whether to 3-bet or not in PLO. Like some are exactly those you want to do it with, and some are just exactly too weak, basically. Jack 10, 9, 8 rainbow in the big blind. Let's see. Table number 1, again, this is a good combination to go for a steal. And against a min raise on table number 2, I'll just call and take it from there. We're checking. Middle pair rep. Middle pair rep. Check. I think I will check raise. Like this sizing, it's quite weak, I think. We're gonna go for it. Try to put some pressure on him. Check again. Ah, the river ace. That sucks. Yeah, I think the river diamond is not that bad in a way that my opponent, I believe, will bet his best flush draws very often on the flop or bigger on the turn. Now, is my hand the turn check raise? That is questionable. King, queen, 10, 7 on table number 1. I'm going to go ahead and defend. Middle pair and an open ender. Draw heavy board, 3-way. Not great. But let's see. Table number 2, ace, queen. The weakest ace, queen combination that you can probably have. Or that you can basically have. But we have 2 very tight players again. So let's steal. Table number 1, I'm going to go ahead and check call. I think we have just enough equity. Very quick check back. I think I'll have to turn my hand into a bluff. Like, he's not going to have a lot of boats because he checked back the turn very quickly. And he also doesn't have a lot of great flushes, I think, because, again, same principle. He did check back the turn very quick. And I don't think that makes a ton of sense if you have any of those. Ace, queen, 7, 4. This is not a great spot, but we are in position. Let's see. I'm actually going to fold here. This guy plays very tight. So folding makes sense, I think. And on table number 1, we bet top pair flush draw. And table number 2, this is just going to be a fold. The 3 of diamonds. So the backdoor diamonds come in. That will basically mean that some of his draws that he continues with on the flop, they now pick up equity. So it makes it worse for me to bet. I also don't have a value bet anymore, so it's sort of a bluff while we still have decent value in checking. So I think checking is my preferred action. And then we have the 4 on the river. What do we do on the 4? Yeah, I think we just have to let it go. Plenty of straights now get there that he check calls with the flop. Of course, he will have some misdraws, but it is what it is. Ace 9, 7, 6 on table number 2 against the min raise. We're just going to fold because this player also 3 bets now. Queen Jack 8, 4 double. This is also one of those hands that you don't want to open raise with. It's just too disconnected. Like, it looks very playable and it looks to have a lot of things going on. But Queen Jack 8, 6, that's sort of the threshold, I would say, to open raise. You want to be quite selective there for sure. I will call in the big blind. Check. 9, 7, 7. The question is, will I raise or will I call? Will I raise or will I call? I'm gonna call. And now I will just fold. Ace is queen 6 triple on the right side. We're a little bit deeper here. Could be a hand to just call, but yeah, some of the weaker aces you do want to go ahead and play more passively when stacks get deeper. Here we still have the ace high suit, so calling I think it's, or 3-betting is pretty good. 7-7-3. Gonna go small. I'm blocking kings. I'm blocking spades. This will be a fold. The 5. It's not the worst turn. It's also not the best turn, obviously. Like, can we get value from weaker? I think we can. I mean, I don't know. Really don't know. Yeah, this sucks. Like, a lot of straights now come in, but we do have the 6 and we unblock spades. Like, he's gonna check raise, I think, a lot of 7x hands. He can have some missed spades still. He doesn't have that many, like, 6-5-4 kind of combinations. Like, will he have some 6-9? I think I'm gonna look him up. Ace Jack 3 deuce, yeah. Complete bluff. I don't like to flop check call. It's too light. Let's play a couple more hands. Queen 10, 8, 6 single. Gonna go for a steal. And then king 7, 5 deuce. Obviously a fold. Again, like, the big blind is also relatively tight. Let's give him a yellow tag. This will just be a fold now. King, 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 5 single. Too weak of a hand. So let's make the fold. 9, 8, 6, 6 single. Just folding under the gun. Queen 7, 7, 5. I will go ahead and fold. This hand seems to, or this player seems to be playing a decent amount of hands. 26 VPIP, so pretty normal. Players often ask me, like, what is a good VPIP? Or what is a VPIP that makes sense? And I would say that 25, 26, 27, 28 is pretty okay. If you combine that with like reasonable 3-bet ranges and RFI ranges, then you're doing well. But what I think is more important is to just focus on individual parts of the game. Let's say you focus on your raise first in ranges from all the positions. If you study them and become better at them, and then you do the same for 3-betting ranges and versus 3-betting ranges. Like, once you do that, your VPIP will naturally converge to a frequency that actually makes sense. So I would think more about it like that, instead of aiming for a certain frequency in terms of VPIP. You just want to think more about different nodes in the game, improve on them, and then it will all sort of come together to a natural frequency. Ace Queen Jack 5 double in the big blind against the under the gun raise. I would probably just call here. In this situation, I'm just gonna fold now. King 10 6 4. With the king high suit, it's probably fine. Ace 8 6 6. This could be an open sometimes, I think. But here I do have a lot of looser players on the table, so I just like to fold actually. Because I will have less pre-flop fold equity. That's basically the main goal. Ooh, double suited aces, guys. Double suited aces. Look at this. Look at this. This is pretty good. An open raise and a 3-bet, and we're coming over the top with the cold 4-bet. Beautiful hand. This guy is pretty tight. So he might have aces himself. 6-5-3, yeah, I mean, what can we do? Ace, king, jack, 6. Ace, king, jack, 6, huh? Wants to run it twice. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. We win the first one. And we also win the second one. Nice. Look at this beautiful run out with the hearts there. Let's open up Helo Trainer one more time because I do want to illustrate this important point in my opinion about how to play against a cold 4-bet. My opponent decides to 3-bet ace, king, jack, 6, double suited, middle position versus under the gun. I come over the top with my aces and now it's back to my opponent. In this setup, he should fold 30% of the time against a cold 4-bet. And if we look into one specific hand class, which is an ace, that is double suited, and then focus on the hands without a pocket pair, this hand class is folding 55.2%, so very, very often. Now, the only hands that make sense in this scenario to continue with are those with a very strong connection between the other 3 side cards, and B, primarily have like a lower side cards. For example, ace, 8, 7, 6 is a good combination. But if I filter for ace, king, jack, 6, we do see that this hand is a clear fold. It's too disconnected. And the ace is actually not that great because it's very often blocked by me having ace, ace. The EV difference is over 3 big blinds per hand. So that is also significant. In other words, 300 big blinds per 100. So quite a costly mistake to continue and not fold. Again, guys, keep in mind that this hand class is supposed to fold very often. Now, if I would have a hand that is unpaired, double suited, but doesn't have an ace, like that hand class plays a lot better versus a cold 4-bet because not having the ace actually gives us an extra out in a way, right? And now we can learn that all these combinations are supposed to be continue versus a cold 4-bet. We turn 2 pair, we have to check. It's a bit of a weird spot now because we do improve, but if my opponent bets, like we are in a very problematic situation. So we will check again. But yeah, if you face a 4-bet, ace, king, 10, 8, huh? Yeah, could be, yeah, makes sense. If you do face a 4-bet, and you have an ace in your hand, you usually want to fold. The ace is a pretty bad card because your opponent is very likely to have ace-ace, and therefore the value of having the ace decreases a lot. Same goes if you have a pocket pair. If you have a pair in your hand and you face a 4-bet and you don't have aces, then you usually want to fold because you will be dominated by ace-ace. So what you're looking for usually against a 4-bet is continuing with unpaired hands without an ace. Even single suited, it's much better already than continuing with a double suited hand with a pair, for example. So something to think about. Ace queen 9-9 on the left side could be a potential open, but we have like some loose players on the table, so I'm just going to fold. I'd rather open this. We got like a lot of tight players on this table, actually. I'm going to attack them. Like, look at this, 14 VPIP, 15, 16, 21. So pretty good stealing opportunity, and we take it down. And then queen, queen, 6 deuce in the big blind. And ace, ace, 9, 6 double as well in the small blind, guys. Beautiful hands. Open raising there. Oh, we see a 4-bet, huh? We see a 4-bet. And on the left side, I'm going to make the call. This is, of course, the 4-bet against Picachano. This guy 3-bets 5% only. Queen 9-4. Reasonable flop. We block the 9, which is good. My opponent will still have like some queen x with straight draws that we're going to get it in against. And of course, yes, queen 9. Look at that. Look at that. Let's do a king. Ace. Ah, he has a flush. Ace, nice. Okay, so we win the second one. That's good. Pretty standard from both players. Like his 3-bet and call versus 4-bet. Completely fine. Same on my end. On the flop, nothing we can do really, and the money will just go in. That's going to wrap up this session, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and check out plomastermind.com if you want to learn more about Pot Limit Omaha. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.